It's time to learn a new skill. Hercules sent me one of their DJ controllers, the DJControl Impulse 200. One unique thing about this controller is that it has an assist functionality that can help a beginner learn some of the most fundamental aspects of DJing. So I'm going to give it a shot. This is what you get inside the box. A very compact controller. The USB cable is attached to the body. I guess I'll never lose that cable. Now let's talk about software, because this is a controller, so it needs to be connected to a computer. The DJing software is called Juiced, with a D in front. You can download the software from the Juiced website for free, though you do need to provide an email address and prove that you are human. It works both on Mac and PC. Once I got the software, the installation process was fairly straightforward. When launching the software for the first time, you will be asked how you want to hear the music. The controller does have RCA audio outputs, but you can also choose to just use the computer sound card as the output and monitor it from there. One thing to watch out for is to always have the controller connected to your computer when launching the Juice application. I noticed if I didn't, my computer would just crash. My computer never crashes, so be very careful with that. Okay, now how do we learn to DJ? The software has a built-in feature to access the YouTube video tutorials from Hercules DJ Academy. It goes over some of the fundamentals and also explains a bit about the controller. Now, I've already watched all the videos, as there weren't that many. Let me just explain the interface of the software here. So we have 2 decks, and you can place a track in each deck. The songs can be dragged and dropped from the library. Right on top, you will see the 2 tracks in the 2 decks with the waveform. You can also see if they are aligned. You can change the layout of the software depending on the hardware from here. Open the master effects section here, mixer, and there's even a recorder to record your DJ sets. Then there's the library. One nice thing about this is that you can pre-analyze tracks. It scans it and analyzes the BPM and the key of the track. Definitely want to do that before starting the set. You can see in the 2 decks here, it shows the tempo of each track as well. Top right here, we can enable Ableton Link, which is awesome. So you can sync to Ableton on a network. On the right here, there's all the global options where you can set the audio interface and other things that I'm not really going to worry about right now. Let's take a look at the hardware. It's a 2-deck controller, so this matches the 2 decks in the software we just looked at. You will notice that the 2 decks are identical with their controls, so whatever you can do on one deck, you can do on the other. In the middle, we have the mixer section, which gives us control over the 2 decks' volume, EQ with the high, low, and filter dials. And of course, the crossfader to mix between the 2 decks. There's the beat match guide button, which I'm going to keep on as I try to figure all this out. Back in Juice, let's add some tracks to the library. I've navigated to this folder in my computer, and I want Juice to analyze all these tracks. I'll shift select all of them, right click, and under BPM, I'll select Analyze. Now, Juice is going to analyze the tracks for tempo as well as key. This takes a while, but it does a pretty decent job. Alright, so let's now look at some basics of mixing with the Hercules DJ controller. So in the library, I have some tracks I want to work with. This track, Say My Name, I'll drag it over here so it's now on deck 1. We can see the current BPM here. I'll drag this track, White Lies, to deck 2. I've chosen these 2 tracks specifically because they are in the same key as indicated here, which is a harmonic mixing chart number. Now we have a song on each of the decks. If I hit play here, deck 1 plays. I can adjust the tempo with the tempo slider. Pitch does not change as it's currently locked to the original key. Let's take a look at the mixer. There's a level control for this deck 1. Gain here. We can cut the highs with the high shelf. Or the lows with the low shelf. This is a dual filter. To the right, it's a high pass, and to the left, it's a low pass. Cool. Let's check out the other deck. We get the exact same controls as deck 1. Now we need to tempo match this track with the other. So I'm going to adjust the tempo slider till it matches. You will see this guide here letting you know when it's matched up. When you see the 2 LEDs here, you know it's matched up. But you can also look at the tempo readout. With the crossfader, I can quickly switch between the two decks. We're not sharing deck 1 because level's not up. Okay, it sounds horrible together because we have not beat matched the tracks. You can see in the waveform the two tracks are not aligned up. Now I found it's best to set up some cue points before beat matching. Let's start with deck 1. I'll hold shift and tap Q so we play from the top of the track. We have 4 cue pads here that can be used to quickly jump to any location in the track. I'll just tap 1 at the location I want to cue. Cool. So now every time I tap 1, we always go back to that location. Nice. So like this, I can set up 4 different cue points for this one deck. I'm going to quickly set up a few more. I'm using the jog wheel here to jump ahead in the track. I always wondered why DJs did that. Now I know. Alright, I have 4 cue points now and I can jump to any of them instantaneously. Okay, I'm done with deck 1. Let's do deck 2 now. Now I can also clear cue points. I'll hold down shift and tap the cue button to clear it. Now let's set up 4 cue points on this deck. The idea is to have different sections of the song at your fingertips so you can go there whenever you want. Alright, now both decks have the 4 cue points set. Now we can play them together and beat match. Let's start from the beginning on deck 1. I'll start from the first cue. I'll run deck 2 and jump to cue 1. Okay, I feel like I did this on time, but it's slightly off. There's this LED here that lets us know we're not quite beat matched. So I'll just nudge the platter to the left, and now that LED is off, so we are aligned up. So now if I crossfade to deck 2, it sounds beat matched. Pretty cool. This time I launch cues 2 on both decks together. No lights on the beat match guide, so we're all aligned up. Now here's a nice trick. I'll turn down the bass on deck 1 and slowly crossfade to deck 1 while bringing up the bass. Need to find the right place to do this. Okay, not the best transition, but it works. Let me try it again. I think that was better. Crossfade back and cue to 3. Good, but the beat is not aligned as we can see in the guide. Another way to fix the beat matching issue is to just launch the cue again, so you can see that fix it. Alright, let's talk about loops. If I want to start a loop, I can tap this in button to set the start point of the loop and then tap the out for the end point. You can see the blue section in the waveform is going to loop. Not synced, so I'll cue deck 1. Good, transition to deck 1. Not bad. To get out of the loop, just tap the out button again. Okay, so this is fun, but definitely not easy. After playing around with this for a while, I realized the hardest part is the transitions from one song to another and knowing what is the right time to transition. But I'm going to keep practicing and using all the guides to help me stay in time and beat matched. Stay tuned to my channel as I post an update on my progress in a few weeks. I'll see you then.